All right, everybody, welcome to our stacked commissions demo. We're going to walk you through today our mobile app and then our desktop version. So first and foremost, let's start with that sales rep experience, right? Our mobile app is in iOS and Android. You can see it here on the screen. We've got a commissions calculator. It's got net PBW, system size, things like that for our solar companies. Then they can actually use this to calculate their commissions, right? Show their potential commissions that they're going to be making. The next paycheck section, this is blank, just test data, but what this shows is that on my next paycheck, my statement balance, as well as commissions, non-commissions, advances, paychecks, like what am I expecting to hit my bank account, my next payroll. Next, you can see all the projects in my pipeline, right? So if I'm a sales rep, my company has a stacked account, I'm gonna be able to see everything that I've sold, be able to see the status, right? What's going on, and then my commission calculated with my comp plan attached to that project, right? As you can see how there's very specific commissions here, as well as the total pipeline value added up at the top. I can filter here as well, I can see what was paid, what's remaining. I could do some other filters, sort by, lots of just easy things for the rep, right? So they can see exactly what they're getting paid. On these projects too, I can click onto the project and I can see a little more granular detail. Let's use one that actually has some data. So like Jesus Scott, right? If I wanted to send a message, I could ask, hey, like what's going on with this project? Or hey, maybe this is wrong. And then I can also see my history, right? So I can go in and say, yep, this is what I was paid. This is my last check. This is, why I got paid that amount, right? So again, just like very easy, very simple, gives the rep just what they need to see. And yeah, the next thing that we're going to show you is the actual database, right? So with Stacked, the goal here is to just make it simple, right? We want it to be very simple, transparent for people to see their commissions and to understand why they're getting paid or what they're getting paid, right? So we do think of it as a stack. So we start with our people. We get all of our team members in there, get their comp plans assigned to them. We can even set up custom views and hierarchy so that, if I'm a manager, I can see my team and nobody else's team. From there, we go in and we start to build these comp plans, right? We'll add your installers. So any of these, installation companies, or if you're an install company, you would also add yourself here, and you put in your red line, or you can also do full revenue splits as well. But a lot of companies do a red line model, right? So we set it up in that manner. The next step is to add another layer, right? So on top of your installers and your products that you're going to sell, you want to add your comp plans. You can add as many as you want, but this would be a sales rep, for example. You would choose the installer, the product that they're selling. You would choose that red line that they would need to apply and the state that they're selling in. You can also get really specific with some of these settings. You could say, hey, I want to pay them maybe a little bit up front or on the back end, or if they're a setter, maybe I want to pay them differently than if they're a closer. You can do very specific things like per unit pay, fixed amount pay. So I could say maybe $1,000 a deal, or maybe I want to give them 5% of the deal, right? So very, very just tailored and easy. You notice there's no formulas here, right? It's very just fill in the box. We want it to be very simple to make changes, very simple to add new compensation plans. The next layer that we're going to go into is our overrides. So once you set up your main comp plan, then you're going to jump in. You're going to say, all right, well, let's add the other complexity of overrides. So let's say maybe I'm a recruiter. I need to make sure that every time I recruit somebody, I'm tracking that. So I would go and say maybe it's a 5 cent override, or maybe it's $1,000 a deal, or percentage based, right? Maybe there's a cap on it. You could also get really crazy with like maybe it's weekly or project based, or if you want to do like a production bonus and you want to give them a quarterly bonus based off of deals sold, right? You can just get really in the weeds. You can create tiers here. Maybe it's 10 deals or 20 deals, and you're going to give them another $500, right? So all these types of things, right? You could do per project. You could give bonus on, number of deals sold, total revenue collected. You could do sales price per unit. So there's just a lot of malleability and functionality here that allows us to really customize and do thousands of different combinations of compensation, right? We know that commissions gets very complex, so we wanted to make sure that we could really track it all. Once you build those overrides, it's simple to just come in and you just assign them. You can say, hey, I got an override. I need to assign it. I'm going to add start date. Say it starts today. Right. I'm going to choose the override. Maybe I'm a recruiter, and I'm going to pay out the recruiter. Maybe Ethan recruited it, right? So it's very easy to just add these, and you could even set it to claw it back if it cancels, right? So again, lots of complexity. That's the first step, is we're going to help you set that up over, usually about a 3-week period with our onboarding. Then we're going to go to build that integration with your source of truth, right? Whether that's your CRM, project management tool, whatever you're using. But the reason why we do that is that we want to make sure that anytime a project changes status or updates price or anything like that, that we get an update, because that's what's triggering all the calculations, right? So if you come into this project, you can see really specific breakdowns. This is called our sales stack and our company stack. So this is our open API. We're going to pull all this data in. And what's going to happen is it's going to automatically and dynamically update these commissions, right? So you can see the sales price. You can see closers getting paid this, setters getting paid this. You scroll all the way down, you can see some of the executive overrides, different things. You can add lead source, you can add adders, you can have all sorts of things. That's why commissions is so complex, is that just on one project, here's an example of so many different deductions and so many different people getting paid on just one project. So this visibility just makes it very simple and transparent for service companies and sales teams to manage their commissions. And this is automatic, right? So you don't need to have spreadsheets and all the craziness that comes with that anymore, which is great. You can also add, you see all of your payments. So one of the things that's difficult for service companies is tracking, when did I pay my vendors? When was I paid by my vendors? When did I pay my sales reps? And so we have a ledger format here where you can always see when you were paid, when you paid out, so that there's never any confusion about which money is yours as you're running your business, okay? Let's go through the payroll flow. So once you've done that, right, we've set up all your commission plans, we've done the onboarding, we've built that integration. From there on, STAKT is really easy to manage. All you're needing to do is coming into here every week, you're clicking on the transactions that STAKT is saying, hey, there's commissions that need to be paid. You need to make sure you go approve these. So it'll tell you how much you're paying out. You click approve. It's going to go to your weekly payroll review flow. It's going to say, all right, well, cool. Based off of what you approved, you need to pay out $11,754 this week. So you're going to go through, you're going to say send to payee for review. This pushes that to the mobile app. And then from there, you are ready to process payroll on the week, right? So if I were to approve that, it would show up here. And then I can actually run payroll by clicking this button to process payroll. That triggers an integration with the payroll processor, right? Where you can do same day ACH. If you don't want to do that, you want to just do manual and pay them out, write them a check or whatever, you can just download it and click manual payment as well. So either option is totally fine, but we find that a lot of companies really like the fact that we can do same day ACH pay just by clicking process payroll here. And they handle all the 1099s and all the backend stuff there, so it makes it easy. The goal is to save you guys time and let you run your business. Last feature I want to share with you is our dashboards. This is so cool. We just launched this recently, and we found that teams love it. So you've got the ability to see total revenue, average contract value, right? Revenue by state, really granular data. You can set up some filters based on time frames or closer, setter, state, like all of the different things. You can also see rep leaderboards, right? Who's performing the best, who's selling the most deals, who's getting the most installs. And then you can get some granular product data about how big your system sizes are on average, or price per watt, things like that. So again, very robust. This is all new, and we'll continue to build this out, but we want to make sure that STAKT becomes your financial, and your commissions operating system, where you can get trends and just make sure that you have your eyes on the numbers that are most important for you in your business. Again, thanks so much for the time today, and we hope to talk to you soon.